I was at the airport, boarding pass in hand, when my 5-year-old daughter grabbed my suitcase and whispered the words that would save my life. "Mommy, don't go. Daddy is planning something." The way her little voice trembled, the fear in her eyes, I knew she wasn't talking about a surprise party. I'm Sarah, and I need to tell you this story because what happened to me could happen to anyone. It's about trust, betrayal, and how the person you think you know best can become a complete stranger. But it's also about intuition, courage, and how sometimes our children see things we're too blind to notice. 3 weeks ago, I was living what I thought was a perfect life. I had been married to Marcus for 7 years. We met at a medical conference. I'm a pediatric nurse, and he's a pharmaceutical sales representative. He was charming, ambitious, and seemed to worship the ground I walked on. Our daughter, Emma, was the light of our lives. Or so I believed. Our marriage wasn't perfect. Whose is? Marcus traveled frequently for work, sometimes for weeks at a time. The distance created small cracks in our foundation, but nothing I thought we couldn't repair. We had our routines, our inside jokes, our shared dreams of buying a bigger house and maybe giving Emma a little brother or sister. Then came the opportunity that seemed too good to be true. My hospital was sending me to a specialized pediatric trauma conference in Seattle. It was a 5-day event, all expenses paid, and it would look incredible on my resume. I was excited. It had been years since I'd had any time to focus on my career development. Marcus seemed supportive, maybe even a little too supportive in retrospect. "You absolutely should go," he said when I told him about it, his eyes lighting up in a way I hadn't seen in months. "Emma and I will have a daddy-daughter week. We'll be fine." I should have noticed how quickly he encouraged me. I should have questioned why he didn't show even a hint of the usual concern about managing a 5-year-old alone for that long. But I was too caught up in my own excitement to see what was right in front of me. The week before my trip, I noticed Emma becoming clingy. She would follow me from room to room, her small hand always reaching for mine. At night, she started having trouble sleeping, crawling into our bed and nestling between Marcus and me. When I asked her what was wrong, she would just shake her head and hold me tighter. "She's probably just anxious about you leaving," Marcus said dismissively. "She'll be fine once you're gone and we establish our routine." But a mother knows. Something in my gut told me Emma's behavior was about more than separation anxiety. Still, I pushed the feeling aside. I was being overprotective, I told myself. Helicopter parenting at its finest. The night before my flight, I was packing in our bedroom when Emma appeared in the doorway. Her face was pale, and she was clutching her stuffed rabbit, the one she only held when she was truly scared. "Mommy?" Her voice was so small. "Yes, baby. Do you have to go?" I sat on the edge of the bed and pulled her into my lap. "It's only for 5 days, sweetheart. Daddy will take good care of you, and I'll call you every single night before bed." She was quiet for a long moment, her little fingers twisting in my shirt. Then she whispered, "Daddy's been talking to the pretty lady on his phone." "A lot." My heart skipped. "What pretty lady, Emma?" "I don't know. But he smiles at her. He never smiles at you like that anymore. Children notice everything. We forget that, don't we? We think they're absorbed in their cartoons and their toys, but they're watching. Always watching." I wanted to dismiss it. Marcus talked to lots of people for work, but something about the way Emma said it, the sadness in her voice, made me pause. "Did Daddy tell you it's okay for Mommy to go on this trip?" I asked gently. She nodded, but then added, "He was happy when you said you were going. Really, really happy." That night, after Emma was asleep, I did something I'd never done before. I waited until Marcus was in the shower, and I looked at his phone. "I know what you're thinking. Invasion of privacy, violation of trust. You're right. But sometimes that little voice inside you won't shut up until you listen to it." And my voice was screaming. His phone was locked, which it never used to be. I tried our anniversary. Nothing. Emma's birthday. Nothing. Then, almost as a joke, I tried the code to his gym locker that he'd mentioned once, 7253. It opened. Have you ever felt your entire world tilt on its axis? That's what happened when I saw the messages. Hundreds of them, going back months. To someone named Victoria Work, but these weren't work messages. Can't wait until she's gone. Just 5 more days until we have the house to ourselves. I'll tell Emma we're having a special visitor. She won't understand what's happening until it's too late. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. I scrolled further, my stomach churning with each message. They weren't just having an affair. They were planning something. The messages were cryptic, but the implications were clear. Victoria was going to move into our house the moment I left, but it was worse than that. I found an email Marcus had forwarded to himself. A life insurance policy. On me. For $500,000. Taken out just 3 months ago. I never signed anything. I never knew it existed. And then I found the most chilling message of all. Sent just that afternoon. Everything's in place. The car is ready. Seattle has some dangerous roads, especially in the rain. Make sure she takes the rental I arranged. I couldn't breathe. I literally couldn't breathe. The man I'd built a life with, the father of my child, was planning to. What? Kill me? Make it look like an accident? I heard the shower turn off and quickly put the phone back exactly where I'd found it. I climbed into bed and pretended to be asleep, my mind racing, my heart pounding so loud I was sure he could hear it. He slipped into bed beside me, and I felt his presence like a threat for the first time in our marriage. This man, who used to make me feel safe now, made my skin crawl. I didn't sleep that night. I lay there, planning. I couldn't go to the police. What did I have? Cryptic text messages that could be explained away? A life insurance policy that he could say was a surprise? No, I needed more. I needed to catch him in the act, to protect myself and Emma legally and completely. The next morning, I went through the motions of preparing for my trip. I kissed Emma goodbye, and she clung to me, tears streaming down her face. "Mommy, please," she whispered in my ear. "Don't go. Daddy is planning something." Those words. God, those words will haunt me forever. Marcus was watching us with an expression I'd never seen before, cold, calculating, impatient. "Emma, enough," he said sharply. "Mommy will be back before you know it." But I saw it then, clear as day. He didn't want me to come back at all. I pulled Emma close and whispered, "Mommy's going to be fine, I promise. And I promise I'll keep you safe." At the airport, I did go through security. I walked to my gate, but I didn't board that plane. Instead, I rented a car under my maiden name. Thank God I'd never changed it at the DMV, and I drove back home. I parked 3 blocks away and waited. I called my sister, Rachel, who's a divorce attorney, and told her everything. She got a colleague, a criminal defense attorney, on the phone immediately. "Sarah, listen to me very carefully," he said. "Do not confront Marcus. Do not let him know you're onto him. We need evidence, and we need to keep you and Emma safe." Within 2 hours, Rachel had arrived with the attorney and a private investigator. "We can't set up cameras without a warrant or his consent," the attorney explained. "But we can conduct surveillance from public property. And Sarah, you have every right to enter your own home." The plan was simple but nerve-wracking. I would stay hidden in Rachel's car parked down the street, where we had a partial view of the front door. The private investigator would position himself across the street with a camera with a telephoto lens. Perfectly legal, as long as he was photographing visible activities from public property. "If you need evidence from inside the house, you'll have to go in yourself," the attorney said. "It's your home. You have every legal right to be there. We can coach you on how to document what you see." They gave me my phone with a voice recording app ready to go, and a small camera pen that I could clip to my jacket. "If you go inside, just act natural. Record conversations. Document what you see. You're not breaking any laws. It's your house." At 3 p.m., just hours after my flight was supposed to leave, a car pulled into my driveway. A beautiful woman stepped out, tall, blonde, designer clothes. Victoria. She didn't knock. She used a key. The investigator's camera clicked rapidly from across the street, capturing everything. Marcus opened the door and kissed her. Not a friendly kiss, a passionate, familiar kiss. Then she walked into my house, into my life, like she owned it. My heart was pounding. "Should I go in now?" I asked. "Not yet," the attorney said through the phone. "Let them get comfortable. Let them think they're safe. Then you'll have the element of surprise and better evidence of their affair." Through the front window, visible from the street, we could see them embracing. The investigator captured it all. When Emma came home from kindergarten at 4 p.m., dropped off by Marcus's mother, I almost broke. Watching my baby girl walk into that house with that woman inside, that's when I couldn't take it anymore. I burst through that front door like an avenging angel. The look on Marcus's face was priceless, pure shock. Then fear. Then rage. "Sarah, what are you? This isn't," he stammered. "Isn't what, Marcus? Isn't you bringing your mistress into our home hours after you thought I'd be in Seattle? Isn't you planning God knows what while I was supposed to be gone?" Emma ran to me, and I scooped her up, holding her tight. Victoria, to her credit, looked genuinely confused. "Marcus, you said you were divorced. You said—" "He lied," I said flatly. "He's good at that." The private investigator stepped inside, followed by my sister and the attorney. Marcus's face went white. "Mr. Peterson," the attorney said formally. "I represent Mrs. Peterson. We have documented evidence of infidelity, and we have some questions about a life insurance policy and some concerning messages about dangerous roads in Seattle." I watched Marcus's world crumble the way mine had the night before. Victoria, realizing she'd been used, turned on him immediately. "What is he talking about?" she demanded. "Marcus, what did you do?" "I think you should leave," Rachel told Victoria firmly. "Now." She grabbed her things and fled, throwing one last disgusted look at Marcus. Over the next few hours, with Emma safe at Rachel's house, everything came out. When the police got involved and examined Marcus's computer, they found searches for how to tamper with brake lines, undetectable car accidents, and life insurance payout timelines. He'd planned it all. The rental car company was owned by his friend from college, who he'd paid to ensure I got a vehicle with faulty brakes. The route from the Seattle airport to my hotel included a winding mountain pass. It was supposed to look like a tragic accident, a tired nurse, unfamiliar roads, mechanical failure. He would have been the grieving husband. He would have gotten the insurance money. Victoria would have conveniently been there to support him through his loss. And eventually, she would have become Emma's new mother. Except Emma saw the truth. My baby girl, who noticed her father smiling at his phone, who felt the darkness in his plans even if she couldn't articulate it, tried to warn me. "Mommy, don't travel. Daddy is planning something." Those 8 words saved my life. Marcus was arrested that evening. The charges included attempted murder, insurance fraud, and conspiracy. His friend at the rental car company turned on him immediately, providing evidence of their plan in exchange for a lesser sentence. Victoria, it turned out, had no idea about the murder plot. She thought she was having an affair with a separated man. She was horrified and became a witness for the prosecution. The trial was hell. Sitting in that courtroom, listening to the man I'd loved describe me as an obstacle and an insurance opportunity, broke something inside me. But it also rebuilt something stronger. Emma had to testify about what she'd heard and seen. The judge was incredibly gentle with her, but I hated that my daughter had to go through that. She told the court about the pretty lady on the phone, about her daddy being too happy when I said I was leaving, about feeling scared. "I told Mommy not to go," Emma said in her small voice, "because kids know things. We know when something's wrong." Marcus was convicted on all counts. He's serving 25 years to life. I'm not going to lie and say we're perfectly fine now. Emma has nightmares. She's in therapy. There are days when she asks why Daddy wanted to hurt Mommy. and I don't have good answers. But we're safe. We're healing. And I've learned some lessons I'll never forget. First, trust your instincts. That voice in your head isn't paranoia, it's your subconscious processing thousands of tiny details your conscious mind misses. I felt something was wrong for weeks before I acted on it. I wish I'd listened sooner. Second, believe your children. Emma tried to tell me in the only way she knew how. She didn't have the words to explain what she was sensing, but she knew something was very wrong. I almost dismissed her concerns as separation anxiety. Thank God I didn't. Third, you never truly know anyone. I shared a bed with Marcus for 7 years. I had a child with him. I thought I knew his heart, his character, his soul. I was wrong. People can hide darkness behind smiles and routines and I love yous. Fourth, women's intuition is real. Call it what you want, gut feeling, sixth sense, instinct, but it's real, and it's powerful. We're taught to be polite, to give people the benefit of the doubt, to not make accusations. Sometimes being polite can get you killed. Finally, you are stronger than you think you are. A year ago, if someone had told me I'd survive what I've survived, I wouldn't have believed them. But I did survive. Emma and I both did. We're not just surviving anymore, we're living. I'm back at work now. Emma's thriving in 1st grade. We moved to a new house, just the two of us, and we're building a new life. It's smaller, simpler, and infinitely more genuine than the life I had before. She still sleeps in my bed sometimes, but less often now. When she does, she always says the same thing. I kept you safe, didn't I, Mommy? Yes, baby. I tell her. You kept us both safe. She saved my life. My 5-year-old daughter saw through the mask of a sociopath and loved me enough to warn me, even when she didn't fully understand what she was warning me about. People ask me if I'll ever trust again, if I'll ever date or remarry. Honestly, I don't know. Right now, I'm focused on healing, on being the mother Emma deserves, on reclaiming the peace that Marcus stole from us. But I'll tell you this, I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not looking over my shoulder, because I learned that I have something Marcus never counted on, a fierce instinct to protect myself and my child, and the courage to act on it. If you're reading this and something in your gut is telling you something's wrong, listen to it. If your child is trying to tell you something, believe them. If you feel unsafe, trust that feeling. Your life might depend on it. Mine did. I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a moment where you ignored your gut feeling and later regretted it? Or a time when you did trust your instincts and it changed everything? Share your stories in the comments below. Let's create a community where we empower each other to trust ourselves and protect each other. And if this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's make sure no one else ignores the warning signs I almost missed. Remember, your intuition is powerful, your children are perceptive, and you are stronger than any threat you'll face. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next story.